Hello, we are now live coming to you from Vermont. It's Karen at Salt and Sand Studios. Today is a thematic journey, or the journey is the theme. If you're a video game player or board game player, think about it as sort of the mini game to the side of the main game. Of course, our lives are journeys and they take tangents and they move off a path onto another main path. Sometimes we don't know where we're going. We do not have the compass or the alethiometer or whatever it is to guide us. Sometimes it's just the light of the moon. And sometimes it's the wind direction. And sometimes it's something we think we see or want or aspire to, and maybe we don't. We find out that it's not for us. So consider each time you come to your mat is a journey. So the question that I ask of you at the beginning of this practice is, what shape will your journey take today? It might be different from the last time you did yoga. Maybe you've never done yoga, so it is in fact your first yogic journey. So that's kind of where we're headed. We'll start out with a nice, strong, long back, tuck the chin, and bring the crown of the head sort of toward the sky. Rest the arms and the hands, and maybe it's helpful to bring the backs of the arms to the thighs. And we find our breath here without changing it. Although by changing the experiment, as it were, by observing the experiment, apparently we change it anyway. Now I'll ask you if it feels okay for you to take two-part inhales to one exhale. It's a little recipe. So we breathe in and breathe out through the nose. Inhale and breathe out. And a third time. Let it go through the nose. Now take a big, huge breath all the way through the body. Pause at the top for just a moment, and then we'll force all that energy out of our mouths. Very nice. So we're going to go ahead and find our way into a tabletop. You might need to place something under your knees. If you prefer right now to go into a child's pose, that is your freedom. I'm the guide. There's a purpose and a flow, or a purpose and a continuation, connection, and journey of what I am putting together for you, but that doesn't mean you have to follow it. As Stevie Nicks said, you could go your own way. Or maybe that was, what's his name? Anyway, the band Fleetwood Mac. So we're gonna go ahead and take the left leg and send it outward to our left and press into the outer edge of that leg. Now we're going to take some very gentle cat-cows here. And then we straighten the spine a lot and bring the forearms down. Feel the stretch on the inner part of your leg. Maybe you even feel it in your foot. You want space between your shoulder blades and wide fingers. We're going to glide that foot, maybe the toe is still on the ground, all the way over the right calf. So the foot comes outside the right side of the mat. The front of your left hip now draws toward your right heel. You can bring your forearms backward. You might stay here. You might take a 1 potato, 2 potato to relax the shoulders and the head. And at this moment, you should start to feel the right glutes opening up a bit. And if you can use a little extra stretch, tuck the left toes under, send the knee away from the mat so it moves upward. You're reaching the heel backward. It will likely feel a deeper stretch in your glutes, in particular your gluteus medius. All right. right, we draw forward, still on our forearms. We lift that left leg, then lift it high and open up the tabletop. So you're stacking your left hip over your right, and maybe you're bending your right knee or not. Either way, you might go ahead and take ankle circles, and then take circles with your knee. Getting some flex, getting some lubrication into your hip. And then we straighten all that out and bring the knee down. A brief moment in child's pose. I'm actually just going to do a high child's pose, pressing the sitting bones back to the heels and lifting off the hands, except the heels of the hands. So the head is hanging down, the arms are straight, the upper body is reaching forward, and the lower part of the back is reaching backward. We'll draw back into our forearm tabletop. And we'll shoot our right leg out to the right, bringing the edge of the foot outward, and find some soft cat-cows. Neutral spine. Come to the toe of the right foot and sweep it behind you, and then across so that your right leg is coming over your left calf, until the right toes are outside the mat. Now we glide that backward, the leg, the hip, maybe the forearms, so that the front of the right hip is at the left heel. This is not a pigeon pose, so your knee to your ankle on the left leg are intended, they might not work that way, but intended to be parallel. And again, we soothe ourselves in this journey by letting the shoulders go. Maybe adding a little challenge. Tuck the right toes, right heel reaches back, right knee lifts off. And we feel more of an opening, which I happen to feel a little bit more in my hip crease and my inner thigh on the left side, in addition to the glutes. Gently, we'll come back. That leg is lifted. We open up our forearm tabletop. Right hip stacks over the left. Maybe the knee bends. Ankle circles in both directions. Maybe open, close your toes. And then big circles with the hip and the knee. Once again, knees down, child's pose stretch, heels of the hands moving away from us. The arms are off the ground, little bit of rounding in the spine. We will come back to our forearms. Well, it's our two forearms. This time we will float the left leg off the mat behind us and square up the hips. Bring your hands under your shoulders and press up to a three-legged tabletop. A little extra core work there. We're going to scoot the left foot out to the left, keep it away from the ground. See if we can square up. It's not that easy. Plant the left foot on the ground once again and rise up, arms overhead, and we take a tilt, left hand down, right arm over the head. Lift the chest, press into the top of the right foot and the outer edge of the left. So you're getting a nice long stretch on this side of the body. And we're working the leg nice and strong. We're going to rise up, bring the hands to the hips. We're going to take a kneeling warrior. So you're going to take your the heel of your left foot and you're going to place it toward the mat. So you're bending into your knee. You'll take a little press into that knee. You might find yourself really stretching. Maybe the arms come up and you face that left knee. This is a lunge warrior. Heel toe your foot to the side of the mat. Maybe the toe is a little bit out, and come forward with your torso. Sink deeper into that front hip crease. Press into the top of the foot on the right side. Tuck your tailbone. Squeeze your right glutes. Heel toe your left foot onto the mat, Anjaneyasana. Maybe you scoot the left foot forward. And we find a little more energy into the left hip crease. Perhaps you take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, make your arms longer. We come to a humble Anjaneyasana. Hands down around your left foot. I know it's a lot on one knee. We're going to go ahead and scoot that leg forward. Maybe scoot the back knee back to find our half split or full split. Bring your left hand inside your left foot. Scoot that heel back on the ground so that the knee is above the ankle. And you're pressing the knee into the tricep into the knee. We'll take the right hand down on the mat. Bring the left hand to your left hip. Inhale halfway up. Super long spine. Draw that belly in. And then we take our twist to the left. If it feels good, drop your left arm by your hip. Swing it around in front. Pause for length and strength. And then sweep it up. And the left hand comes down. We'll take an actual child's pose this time before we move to the other side. And knowing you're going to spend that much time on your knee, you might consider placing a blanket or towel or something, a pillow under your knee. Left knee for the next round. Now the instructor guides you into a child's pose. The intention is to relax, to regroup, but there are also ways that you can make it active if that's what your body is guiding you to today. So I'll demonstrate, for example, lifting the wrists and the arms off the mat. You're starting to open up the shoulders, and maybe you walk the hands forward a little bit more, but keep the sitting bones onto the heels. You can also move your hands over to the right and relax in, move back center, move to the left and relax in. Lots of options here. All right, we return to the top of the tables, the tabletop. Square everything up, nice wide fingers. Elbows soft. This time the right leg is going to float off the mat behind you. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the right glutes. We want to be all squared up and long and strong here. And the right leg floats out to the right, keeping it away from the ground. Not super easy. Kind of nice though. Feel the power. The foot returns to the ground, outer edge of the foot, really working into the earth. We're going to walk the hands back, rise up. So it's a sort of semi-rock star posture. And the left arm floats, the right hand comes down your leg. We lift the heart, finding our stretch. I can feel this also in my, a little bit in the outer part of my psoas, my hip flexor, and a little bit in my quads. Rise back up, hands to your hips. The heel of the right foot now turns inward, and we scoop it in a little bit. Lean into that leg. Maybe bring your hands to your thighs. Arms up overhead. A little bit of a twisty twisty approach here. Opening up the left quads and the right inner thigh. Let me heel toe that foot. So the heel is more at an angle, like a 45 or 35 degree angle. And we sink a little deeper. Press energy into the top of the left foot. Tuck the tailbone. And now our full Anjaneyasana. I like to bring my hands by my sides to open up my heart a bit more. Maybe your hands come behind you, intertwine, bring the knuckles toward the ground, and humble this Anjaneyasana. Open up the toes. And then your half split. Ardha Hanumanasana. Heart forward, shoulders back. Toes reaching toward the torso. Hands draw inside the right foot. We bend the knee. Bring the heel back under the knee and press the knee and thigh into the triceps. Just getting some dynamic energy and strength. Left fingers down on the mat, right hand on your hip. Lift halfway up. So nice long spine. It's just like your Ardha Hanumanasana. No, not your Ardha Uttanasana. And now we're going to take a twist. Over to the right. Keep that right knee moving inward. You might feel that in your thighs. Press the top of the left foot into the mat. Spread the right toes. Maybe drop your hand by your side. You could bring the hand up by your ear or in front of your face. The arm. You might stay here or continue to turn like a clock and sweep that arm up. Ensuring that your right knee is not dropping to the right. All right, exhale, hand comes down. We return to a child's pose, knees together or apart. Head resting on something. I feel like that was just a little bit of an appetizer for a journey into a deeper set of hip openers. So we'll go ahead and rise back to tabletop. Right now, my arms are a little bit long, so I'm going to scoot them back. We'll keep the tops of the feet on the ground. We're going to work first into some core strength movement before we drive to downward dog and into a deeper hip stretch. So on an exhale, you're going to press into the tops of the feet. Use the belly to lift the knees away, just about 3 inches. So the tailbone draws down. The shoulders are toward the hips. And come back down to your knees. Maybe a little cat-cow or a left to right. Kneeling half moon kind of thing. And we take that again. Use that belly. Draw back down. You don't want all this to dump into your low back. And one more time. This time, see if you can roll over your toes. Draw into downward dog. Maybe come back. Your left foot steps a little bit to the right and a little toward your hands. Right leg rises up. Open up your downward dog. Peeking under the left shoulder, almost as if you could see your right foot. Ankle circles. And then you square up the hips, keep the knee bent, and draw the knee toward the outside of the right elbow. Inhale, extend, and bring that leg down. This time the right foot moves a little to the left, a little toward the hands. Left leg floats up. Press the chest energy toward your thigh. Open up your down dog. Square up the hips, keep the knee bent, draw it toward your left elbow, outside your left elbow. And lengthen out. Feet to the floor, rise to the toes, and walk forward. Our first standing posture. Not the downward dog isn't standing, but it's actually an inversion. Maybe you find a bind here. What is the focus of your journey today? Your intention, your aspiration, your motivation. Soft knees, hands to the shins below the knees or above the knees on the thighs. Find a halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Strong back, strong belly. Exhale, forward fold. Unravel all the way to stand and meet in mountain pose. Mountain is this unusual combination of relax and strong, soft and strong. If we didn't have a little bit of softness, we wouldn't be able to withstand the weather, the environment, whatever's going on around us. And when you think about sometimes the antithetical aspects of what's going on inside the body and the mind and the spirit and the heart, and what's going on outside the body energy, that can be a tough one. So let's find a way to settle in to mountain pose, which might mean bringing your feet apart, maybe shrugging your shoulders, finding a little wiggle. Let's bring the arms up over the head, and we're going to sweep down into a fold. All of the negative energy right into the ground. Take it right away from us, from the top of our head, the soles of our feet, our hands and fingers. A chaturanga, hands down to the mat. Step, step back, high plank, and pause. Let's take this nice and slowly. Heels are reaching back. Now you press into the balls of the feet to send the heart forward of the thumbs. As the elbows bend in, you're working, maybe the bum lifts a little bit to get your face toward the mat first, then your heart, then your thighs, then the tops of the feet, and a little baby cobra or sphinx. If this is dumping into your low back, maybe you widen the feet. We come down to the mat, left ear to the mat, arms in a cactus shape so that the forearms are outside the mat. The elbows are even with your shoulders. You can bend your knees, maybe take a little windshield wiper movement left and right. The feet come down to the ground, the legs zip up. I'm going to go ahead and bring the arms in a T because we're going to move. I said we were going to move into a deeper hip stretch, which we will. This just felt right to me. So I'm moving my arms into a T, lengthening my neck a bit to draw the shoulders, the front of the shoulders to the ground. We're moving into a pec shoulder stretch, pec and shoulder stretch. So notice if you need to change the shape of the arms to allow that to happen. But let's try it with a little scooting long of the neck, palms down, arms wide. Right hand comes to the mat, the palm to the mat, just outside the right side of your chest. We're going to push into that, use the belly, roll onto the left side. Your left arm might stretch a little bit more. See if the head can come down. And then you might stay here. You might float that right leg high. You might decide to bend that right knee, point it more toward the sky, and tap or rest your right foot down on the ground behind your left calf or knee. If you get that right foot all the way down on the ground, you'll start to feel how this is going to support the deeper opening of the hips. But of course, noticing what are the pecs and the shoulder and the arm doing? Are they getting a nice stretch? I can actually feel it in my left elbow. If your right knee is bent and foot on the floor, you're going to lift the foot up. Lift the knee in toward the right armpit. Extend the leg as far as you can. Point the toes forward and super slowly, dynamic strengthening. We're going to bring that right foot to meet the left. Slow, 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 slow. Beautiful. We come onto the front of the body. Head down for a moment and then switch right ear to the mat. Right arm out. Maybe roll the shoulders back and drop the fronts of the shoulders toward the mat. You might need to move your hips and your thighs around a little bit. Let's bend the knees. Windshield washer wiper again. And the legs come down. We zip the legs up like a single tree trunk. Arms are out in the T, the left hand palm to the mat, just outside the right side of the chest. Draw the belly in and use that hand and arm to press yourself rolling onto your right side. Your right arm might lengthen. And if you like, you're welcome to lift that left leg. You might remain there, working to stay on your right side. We kind of like to fold or roll onto the front of the hip. You might bend your left knee and even drop the foot down to the ground behind the right leg. This gives you a nice twist, the shoulder and pec opening, a little strength in the arm. If your left knee is bent or that leg is lifted, we're going to go ahead and draw the knee in toward the left armpit. Extend the leg as much as possible toward the sky, and then turn the toes to face to the left. Same thing with the bottom toes. Very, very slowly, using your strength, but breathing. We're going to lower, 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 lower. Nice. And draw all the way to the front body once again and into a child's pose. If you did all the knee bending, etc., you were finding a bit of a low back bend, and that might feel a little crunchy to you now. So maybe you bring your hands to your low back in your child's pose and give yourself a little massage. How's your journey? Has it taken a turn? Have you changed where you're headed? The thing about journeys is we often have expectations and then we're disappointed. It's the same thing in life, right? Life is a journey. And we often set our expectations not only so high, but so frequently that we're disappointed in what happens. So maybe we think of the journey as more fluid. Yes, we have some things we want to accomplish, places we want to go, feelings we want to feel. Those can manifest for sure, but maybe not in the time that you're expecting, or maybe even not in this life. We're going to come back into a tabletop and step the left foot outside the left hand and the right foot outside the right hand. So we're in a bit of a crouch, not grouch, crouch. Bring the forearms to your thighs. I call this the footballer move. So You want to tuck your tailbone a little bit and then take your shoulders away from your ears. Bring the hands now to the thighs. The thumb is pointing toward the torso. Lengthen your left arm so your right shoulder moves to the right, and then take a peek over your right shoulder. As you come through center, you rise up a little bit so both arms straighten out, and then we come to the opposite side and turn the head. And again, arms lengthen, rise up, come back down, right elbow bends, look over the right, and opposite way. We're going to take a wide-legged fold. Maybe bring the feet a little bit more parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Maybe even move the feet outside the mat and find a bend in your knees. Unbend the knees. Find your way in all the way to stand. We haven't done much twisting, but we're going to do it when we get down into Malasana. But we are going to start with a chair. So move your feet a little closer together. One of the things I find in chair is that people tend to lean forward as their knees are bending, which is okay. But then they swoop their arms up and they try to lift the chest, and they've got everything dumped into the lower back. So the shape, again, it needs to suit your body, but a little tucking of the tail, or maybe even a lifting of the shoulders instead of the heart, can be helpful. So from this to this, it's subtle, but you can see it. You can feel it more than see it. So we're going to start by lifting the arms to the sides, palms up. Make fists of your hands, squeeze, 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 breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. Throw them open. Arms up overhead, same thing. Hands squeeze, 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 breathing in. Force them open. Come into your chair pose, Utkatasana. If you like, maybe what you do is you bend the knees like you're skiing. I don't even know if this is how you ski. I don't ski. And maybe your butt is moving back, which is not ideal for skiing. Skiing, the weight is in the forward part of the feet. So we want to move the weight into the back part of the feet. To do so, you might lift your heart a little bit. Now tuck your tailbone. And now the arms can go wherever it feels okay. I don't like my arms up by my ears in a chair. Why? I mean, it shouldn't be like or dislike, right? It should be it works or it doesn't work. I find that I hunch. Hands to your hips, rise up to stand. Now spread your feet wider, heels in, toes out, hands at your heart. See if you can rise up to the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Nice, strong in the thighs, strong in the belly, strong in the glutes. Bring the heels back down, lift the toes up. Spread them nice and wide. One at a time, starting with the pinky toes, they return to the mat. Rise up to the balls of the feet again, squeeze, and heels come down, toes lift. One more time, balls of the feet. Imagine you're holding a big long stick end to end between your ankles. Heels down. Now we're going to bend the knees outward and slowly drop the bottom. If you feel like the heels want to come off the ground, you might find a little movement here and move the feet outward a little bit, aiming for a long spine. There are a couple ways to twist here. The most common is to use your arm in front of the knee on the same side. So you're not moving the arm outside the knee, you're keeping it inside, and then float the right arm high. Watch your back. Maybe you spin the thumb down and take a half bind here. And we come out of this side. I need to unbend for a moment. You're welcome to as well. Tired thighs. And we draw back into Malasana, pinning back the right knee and opening up with the left arm. Oh boy, my thighs are tired. Thumb down for your half bind. All right, we're going to come down to our seats. I just decided that because my quads are tired from yesterday. Now, I usually take Sukhasana with something underneath me, as a lot of people do, so that the hips tilt forward and the knees drop. But I found a really cool way to find a stretch that actually helps the knees. You could do this with a pillow. You could do this with a block, using either of them in a variety of ways. The idea here is to take the hands, let me put this in front, out to the sides, and we're hinging at the hips, reaching the heart forward and bringing the hands in front of us. Then you can either fold your arms or put your head on a block or a pillow. And the body begins to relax into this fold. It's a little bit of a rounding, so if you prefer not to feel the rounding, because maybe you sit at a computer all day, maybe you bring your hands behind your back. Okay, get my head on the, there we go. If you have a block or a pillow or something that you're using under your head, press your palms to either side, reach the arms forward, drop the block, and slowly, with a nice long belly, rise up. Cactus-shaped arms. Nice. And hands down. I know that does not feel like an asymmetrical pose, but it is. So we're going to take a shift to our sacrum and switch the cross of our feet. So same gig. Maybe you just find a little wiggle waggle. I know I look like I'm a little like there's something wrong, but there's not. It's all right. The journey for me today, for this form and this heart and this mind, has been one of opening up and welcoming you into the practice, into the space, even though you are virtually here. So we're going to do the same thing. Fingertips out, shift from the hips. The heart comes forward. We reach forward. We find the fold. And then we take whatever item, place it under our heads. Maybe arms in front. Maybe arms behind. I'm going to keep mine in front this time. This in and of itself is a pretty deep hip opener, especially if you're not dumping it all into your back. If you feel like you're dumping it all into your back, maybe you lift up a little bit. All right, take your block, blanket, towel, whatever it is, place your hands to either side, shoot that forward, and rise up. Nice. Maybe a little neck circle, or you move each ear to the same shoulder, or the shoulder on the same side. Move the feet into Baddha Konasana, so the soles of the feet come down. And if your hips hurt or something is bothering your physical form, you can always prop yourself here. Bring the hands to the heart, bring them forward, spread them a bit apart, and lock the arms back into the shoulders. I'm going to take a twist, right arm behind. And if you like, right hand can come down to lengthen the spine, deepen the twist, and you might even bring the left hand outside the right knee or on top of the right knee. But the goal here is open hips. So maybe the left hand is pressing the knee down with the shoulders away from your ears. Again, big hip opener, but you're getting a nice twist. Little teeny bit of back bend if your right hand is closer to the center of your back than the right. We'll bring all that forward with the left hand behind us, the right arm forward, and we take our twist. Maybe the right hand is pressing the left knee away, or maybe the arm is outside your thigh. All right, we're going to take this down into a back bend. So scoot your sitting bones a little closer to your heels, and then bring your hands behind you, palms on the ground, fingers point toward your bottom, and you draw one forearm at a time downward. I happen to be looking up. You would aim for a very long spine. So you're kind of pushing into your hands and the outer edges of your feet as if you could drag your body back toward the back of the mat without moving the sitting bones away from the heels. So I'm repetitively doing this so I can feel what it feels like and how far I can go until I need to stop and lift the heart. Belly is in, side bodies are long. I'm going to press deeper and lift a little bit more to let the heart open and the head drop back. Your back bend. One at a time, the elbows move out so your back comes to the earth. Full Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart if you're feeling a little bit anxious or vulnerable, or your arms could stretch up overhead. We'll take two more asymmetrical postures before we find our way to Shavasana. So we're going to go ahead and heel toe the feet outward until the soles of your feet are on the ground. We'll find our supine figure four, lifting the right knee toward the chest, pressing the left foot into the ground. We cross the right ankle above the left knee. Your choice to remain here. You could press the right thigh and knee away with both feet activated, or you're welcome to scoot your hands behind your left thigh or in front of your left shin to lift that left knee. If you do that, check in with the shoulder blades. They should be coming toward the ground. In fact, if they can kiss the ground, there is really no should. If they can kiss the ground, that's the direction, not the destination, but the direction that you are heading in with your shoulder blades. Gently, the left foot returns to the ground. We keep our figure four. We heel toe the left foot just in front of the right glute and then send both knees over to the left. Arms can flop out. Gaze could go to the right. It's a fairly deep twist. Nose faces the sky. Heel toe the left foot over to the left. That will bring the knee pointing toward the sky. Release the right leg and we'll take that to the other side. Left ankle above the right knee. Maybe scoot that knee in. Drawing the shoulder blades toward the earth, both feet activated. Right foot down on the ground, heel toe it over to the left, pretty far, until both knees can drop to the right in a deep twist. Gaze is over the left. And then yogi's choice, Shavasana, or you could go right into Shavasana. You might like to draw your knees in, find a happy baby, or circles or something that feels good, legs up the wall. We'll find a few breaths in Shavasana before our practice ends. Big break, big breath in. Fill up, fill up, fill up. Force it out. This is where it all comes together. It's not the end of a journey. It's the beginning of the next one or a continuation. Where did your journey take you today? Did it take you to a place where you were able to let go of anything you don't need? Did you take yourself to a place where non-thinking is all about feeling, experiencing? Or did you take yourself to a place where insight arose? We deepen the breath, bend the knees, find our way to a seat. In order to close our practice, we sit up nice and tall. Consider what behaviors or attitudes you would like to manifest when you come off your mat in a few moments. Let the palms draw together at your heart. Squeeze them really hard together, like really, really press, 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 press. All your energy up through the elbows, into the hands and the wrists. Press, 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 press. Slowly release the hands from one another, just about a half an inch. See if you can feel the energy. It's kind of neat. The connection. Today we connected to the body, especially to the hips, to the mind with our intention and our journey theme, to our internal situation and external situation, recognizing that they don't always, and perhaps you're better off if they don't, or maybe you're not, if they don't align. We'll close our practice to the single chant of Om. This Om will vibrate and send out good intentions for manifesting not only what we intend to, but also for kindness and goodness and merit out to all those, whether they feel they're in need or not. All the air is breathed out out of the lungs. We inhale fully and then chant. Namaste. May you find joy wherever you go. It was great to practice. It's great to have you practice. And hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you.